Remembering her childhood makes Mercedes sad. Her parents lied to her all her life. Only on his deathbed 10 years ago did her father admit to her what she had long suspected. He and his wife were not her biological parents.
They raised me to be honest and upright and to always tell the truth. But then they did this to me.
After they died, Mercedes began researching and found conflicting documents. 2 birth certificates, one from Malaga and one from Seville, and 2 baptismal certificates. She knows these documents must be forged. And so the 60-year-old has a devastating suspicion.
I think I was stolen when I was a baby. These documents are like those of other stolen children.
From the 1930s through the 1990s, up to 300,000 children were taken away from their parents, who were told that the children had died. The newborn infants of political opponents or unwed mothers were sold to childless couples who supported Franco. Genetic tests have proven that birth certificates were forged to conceal these dealings. Mari Cruz is convinced that she too was a victim of such schemes. She gave birth to a premature baby in Madrid in 1980. 6 days after his birth, the incubator was empty and she was told her son had died. Mari Cruz and her husband wanted to see their dead baby and take it.
They refused to show us the baby. They said it was so deformed that they didn't want to upset us. When we insisted, they asked whether we had 200,000 pesetas for the burial. In the 1980s, that was a lot of money.
Mari Cruz let herself be intimidated, but now she's looking for her son, whom she's sure was stolen from her. She works in a self-help group for other victims, mothers, fathers, and children. An attorney is representing the victims in court. Finally, one of the people involved in this mass crime, gynecologist Eduardo Vela, has been accused of child abduction and document forgery. The 85-year-old defendant refuses to give interviews. But in 2010, some victims questioned him with a hidden camera. He claimed that distressed mothers had given their children up voluntarily, though there were no documents to show this.
The archive with the mother's documents has been burned. I personally burned the obstetric records and the parents' declarations of agreement to adoption.
It just makes me sick. It infuriates me that this man might die before he's convicted.
The attorney says the parents did not agree to give these children up for adoption. It was a systematic political and business measure, with government and church complicity.
This is not the idea of one doctor alone. He needed officials who knew about and covered up these irregularities.
The scandal involves all of Spain. Children for money. The Justice Department refuses to comment. Mercedes is tormented by so many questions. Was she sold? If so, then how much did the couple who adopted her pay for her? She can't imagine that the people who brought her up with so much love could have known about the crimes underlying the adoption.
I think that they too were deceived. I don't think they acted maliciously.
Mercedes has taken a genetic test and added the result to a database. She hopes to find blood relatives, siblings, nieces or nephews, maybe even her biological parents, and to learn what happened to her after her birth.